Hey, this is Brian again, and I'd like to ask you to do a favor. We can't do this work without people like you, so if you can, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about Bring Back the Porch.
It's interesting because we have little kids. We had kids in Bow Island that were selling bracelets, and we had kids that came out a couple other years doing different things, and they just wanted to contribute. So it's so nice to see that we're getting that understanding of it takes a village to help people, and everybody from young kids to our seniors are understanding that, you know, everybody can do something small to help out, and that's kind of the way this runs.
This episode of Bring Back the Porch brought to you by Medicine Hat Monumental, crafting quality memorials of distinction since 1970. Heather McCaig joins us for this episode of Bring Back the Porch to talk about the Ridin For Kids Foundation.
Yes.
Now, this is something that started 6 years ago involving some motorcycle enthusiasts.
For sure.
And it has grown phenomenally.
It has. So this was the idea of a gentleman named Ivan Reimer. So Ivan had started with a friend of his. Their child had a very unique kind of disease. And he had reached out once he started getting his event planned to me and said, hey, will you help me with this? And so I've been on board for all 6 years. And Ivan's dream has just kind of flourished. So we've grown every single year. This is the first year we became a really big kind of foundation. So we actually have charitable status now, and donors can get those charity receipts, that kind of thing. And it just has bloomed. And we've been able to help 6 children with very unique diseases over the years. And it's just phenomenal.
Yeah. Now, when you go back to the beginning, did you ever in your wildest imagination think it would be where it is today?
I never imagined we'd be able to raise as much money as we had. I mean, Ivan has massive dreams of expanding to other cities, which we've been able to do, and just kind of growing this across Canada. And with people in the motorcycle community having the kinds of hearts that they do, if they have half the heart he does, this will continue to grow for sure.
So in the first year, who was the benefactor?
So we had a gentleman, a student from Crescent Heights High School named Keelan, yeah, and he had a disease called VHL disease.
VHL?
And it causes tumors to grow in your body, kind of like little cancerous tumors. So he's been fighting that his whole life, and he needed to get on a special treatment in Calgary, and this helped the family get money because, of course, Medicine Hat doesn't have facilities for a lot of these children, so they go back and forth to get medical in other cities, and this helped that family, and he's doing very, very well. Yeah. He's an adult now. Things have stabilized. Last report from his mom, and we're very, very happy that we were able to help them out.
Does the foundation or the group keep in touch with the people who benefit from your work?
Very much so. Ivan is in contact with them constantly. A lot of us know the kids. We get to develop a bit of a relationship, and then we have other kids who are old enough that they can kind of give us reports. So we have one young lady named Abby who has a horrible pain disorder, and she will write us reports that we then post on our Facebook page. So people can come to the Ridin For Kids Facebook page, see the different children that we've helped, and then Ivan will write reports, or the kids do reports every once in a while that we will post as well over time.
So in a sense, it becomes an expanded family.
It is 100%. And we are there if any of those families were to reach out and say, hey, we need help with X, you know, we would be there physically to help them. We would do what we can for sure.
Yeah. How many riders do you remember in that first effort?
Well, the first year it was small. I would say we had under 100 for sure. But, a very dedicated group. We still had a little kind of mini silent auction going, and it was held out in the campground in Irvine, the final end of the run. And now we've graduated to Days Off Pub. They've been a major sponsor for us every single year. And we had well over 200 riders. They come from Edmonton. They come from Saskatchewan. They're coming from all over the place to join us in this event. So it's amazing.
Riders have big hearts.
They do, very much so. Yeah. The Medicine Hat motorcycle community and our community in general is so amazing. Yeah.
Now, most recently, the one that people would be fresh at the top of their mind was a little boy, 4-year-old boy in Bow Island.
Yes.
And the amount that you raised in about 3 months, mind-blowing.
Unbelievable. So we're always shocked by the amount of donations that come in from people, the types of donations. So we earn the money through a variety of things. So we have a charity run the day of the event. We also have like people can look at potentially getting a smoker, like they donate at lunch to pay for lunch. It's all done by donations. So we don't have it's $5. People will give $50 to have breakfast. Like, it's so amazing. The Urban Hotel always helps us with a pancake breakfast as well. And then we do a silent auction at night. And then we do a live auction now too, because we've gotten things like quilts and big fire pits and a recliner rocker chair this year and all these really unique things. There was a gentleman named Albert Nyman that made a desk, and Marina Cole has often donated a chainsaw carving and some of those really unique things that you can't get other places. So our community and our donors have just stepped up. And of course, we have a really dedicated group of volunteers that go and solicit from these donors. So it's so nice that everybody's willing to participate that way.
This year, the fundraising total was
$118,613.40.
amazing.
Mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing.
I saw on your social media one post of a young boy who drew a little postcard and made a little ornament, I guess, for your auction.
Yes, and it's interesting because we have little kids. We had kids in Bow Island that were selling bracelets, and we had kids that came out a couple other years doing different things, and they just wanted to contribute. So it's so nice to see that we're getting that understanding of it takes a village to help people, and everybody from young kids to our seniors are understanding that, everybody can do something small to help out. And that's kind of the way this runs, for sure.
What strikes me is that in this economy with inflation and the way things are, people without jobs, that you're able to raise that amount of money in a short period of time.
100%. Yeah, it totally. And we couldn't do it if our community didn't help. So we have businesses that step up, like Badlands Harley Davidson has allowed us to host our check presentation there. They did a swap meet for us earlier in the year and donated a bunch of the things. We had anonymous donors that gave money. Like, I sat next to a lady while we were doing some work the day of, and I left to go get something, came back, and she had left a check with my friend that was helping me do things. And she just randomly came down. Like, it made me cry, right? And then somebody else dropped off another huge check. And then the Motor Dealers Association just gave us some money as well. So, every tiny little bit helps. And if you can only afford $5 and you give $5, with our charities and the way they work in Medicine Hat and the way this one works and other ones I'm involved in, like, we make your dollar go so far to help these people, and everything is so appreciated. Yeah.
Now, the benefactor this year was a 4-year-old boy. I believe his name was Emerson Winterink out in Bow Island.
Yes.
Some special equipment to help him, I guess, with his mobility.
Yeah, so he's going to be getting a set of motorized legs to help him walk and to help him with his motor skills and that kind of thing. It keeps, your muscles from atrophying and that kind of thing when you can't use them. So the family is so excited, and this is going to allow them to do that, and all the adjustments and things you have to have with those things. They're not a one and done sort of thing, especially with a growing little boy.
Yeah.
So, so excited for that family.
Is there a special memory you have over the 6 years they've been doing this now? I'm sure more than one, but the things, like you say, that have hit your heart.
Yeah, it's always, when you get to meet the kids for the first time, and you know that you're changing their lives, right? And to be able to be a part of something that you can put your heart into it. I don't have a ton of money that I can give, but I can give time. I can give my heart. I can give all of those kind of things. And, when you can do that and you see, like, the one little boy, well, even our first kid, right? And I got to teach him at school. I get to see now that he's thriving as an adult, and that helped him survive and get the treatments he needed to move forward, right? So some of our kids have cancer, some of our kids have these other things, and you just hope and pray that no matter what it is, this will help improve quality of life for those families. And we keep hearing back again and again that it is, and it has, and that's what it's all about.
So that's the real payoff, is what happens in your heart.
Yeah. For me, it's all about the altruism and the give what you can and give back to such an amazing community that we have.
How do you select the benefactor?
So we often have people that will come and say, hey, you should look at this family, you should look at that family. So we get input from often our school divisions, different Make-A-Wish Foundation has talked to us, that kind of thing. So people just kind of let us know, and then our board looks at the kids that have come in that way, and then we make decisions from there.
Okay. Now, the route this year, it was quite a long one.
It's always about that length. So the route typically will go into Bow Island in some way, shape, or form, go out to Hayes Campground for lunch, and then it circles around. So we've had it to go to Tilly, we've had it go to Redcliffe. It all kind of depends on who's helping us with the stops for the run. So it's always going to be about that length. But if people can't go the whole time, we've often had them come out and say, I can only do 2 legs of it. Okay, let's pull your card, do it now. I keep the card, and I make sure it gets put into the game counting at the end. So, yeah, even if you can't make the whole thing, any little part of it, you're always welcome to attend.
And it's on Father's Day. Is that for a reason?
It's on Father's Day weekend. Yeah, so this coming year, it will be on June 19th because Father's Day is June 20th. So it's no particular attachment. We just wanted to make sure it's on one weekend and the same weekend every year so people can plan and remember. And of course it is a family event too. So, but we don't want to exclude people that don't have fathers. So, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that it's expanded now beyond Medicine Hat.
Yes.
I believe there's another group in Edmonton. You're going to be taking part in their ride, which by the time this is broadcast will have already happened.
That's right. So we have a group in Edmonton, a lovely lady and husband by the name of Lisa and Doug Wheeler, who do have ties to Medicine Hat. And they had started a ride last year. So they're doing their second one this year as well. And same kind of thing up there. We have a little boy up there this year named Hayes, and we're looking to help him and his family out. He's got cancer, and he's going through some tough stuff. So we're trying to help their family. Okay.
Now, when we see the riders
Yes.
On the route, should we get out of their way? Is there anything we can do to make it easier for you?
Well, I mean, you don't have to get out of our way, but you can definitely, show support,
honk,
wave, that kind of thing. You're always welcome to come and donate at the different stops. There's always somebody there that can, take a donation. And then you're always welcome to show up at the end party kind of idea where we have the final stop. And there's always a silent auction. There's a live auction, and people are more than welcome to come and participate and donate. And
do I have to have a bike to take part?
You definitely do not. There is another thing though. So you can see that I'm wearing a Riding for Kids hoodie, and I'll turn around.
Mm-hmm.
So
the logo on the back. Yeah, a motorcycle in flames.
Yes. So those are available through Tiki Press. So they're available all year at Merchee. It's merchee.ca, and you just type in Ridin for Kids without a G, and our stuff will pop up, and you can purchase that. And part of every purchase goes toward our foundation and then back toward the kids. So.
Okay. I have to ask you about the name, though.
Yes.
Because I asked you before, and you explained what happened to the G.
Well, when you go into becoming a charity, there's a search across Canada, and you have to make sure that your charity name isn't taken by somebody else. And somebody else had one with the G, if I remember correctly. So we had to shorten ours. So we're Ridin for Kids instead of with the G.
As I said to you before, just like the 3 R's, riding, reading, and arithmetic.
That's right.
And RN for radio announcer.
There you go.
Yeah. In a world that sometimes seems a little bit too negative, thank you for sharing a story, a positive story about the people in our community.
Yes. This is an amazing foundation, amazing people on the board, and I just feel very blessed to be a part of it. And we invite everyone to come out to our ride next year, and hopefully, we can make it even better, and we'll look forward to helping another family next year.
Heather McCaig, Ridin for Kids.
Awesome. Thank you so much.